people that are here and watching knew about this tonight. Almost 2 weeks ago, on October 7th, World Can't Wait printed the statement, "Crimes are crimes, no matter who does them," in the New York Times. On the actual anniversary of the 9-year anniversary of the U.S. occupation of Afghanistan. This is a bold statement, and the pictures say a lot. Mugshots of George Bush and Barack Obama, and descriptions of 4 war crimes. The most immediate one, when we began to write this statement, became public in April of 2010, and that was that we learned publicly that the president, not Bush, but Obama, had designated a U.S. citizen for assassination. Assassination anywhere, without rule of law, without charges, without a trial, without any kind of due process. Anwar al-Aulaqui is to be killed. He's on a to-be-killed list. And when we heard about this, we felt this was such an outrage and such a change even beyond what President Bush did. We know that Bush's military did assassinate even U.S. citizens, but it was never done with a public order. It was never done in a way that said, this is what we will do. The second war crime that we discussed was the now well-known video that had just come out that month in April called Collateral Murder by WikiLeaks. And we're going to be discussing a lot of that the rest of this evening. The third was the massacre in Gardez, Afghanistan, which we talked about in this ad. Something that was so revealing of the modus operandi of the U.S. military in Iraq and Afghanistan that we felt it must be addressed in an ad. This was the situation in February of 2010 when the U.S. military, in fact, killed Afghani civilians. One was a police officer, the other one was a lawyer, and there were 3 women, the combined mothers of 16 children, all in the same house. This was a nighttime killing. And what did the U.S. first of all say? Well, you know, they were insurgents. But the Afghanis came back and said, no, they weren't insurgents, and in fact, they were killed in their own home. Then as the story develops, the U.S. Special Forces had gone back into the home and dug the bodies out of the 2 women to remove evidence of really who had done this killing. After that, the U.S. tried to say that these were honor killings carried out by men in the household. So this is compounding outrage after insult on these people who were civilian victims of an illegitimate, immoral occupation. Completely unjust. And the fourth thing that we pointed out in this ad, we're also going to be talking about tonight. That was the fact that a report came out, a very substantial investigation, showing that the reported suicides of 3 detainees in Guantanamo in 2006, this is 3 men that died the same evening in the same building of suicide, in fact, were very, very likely homicides. This report came out this year since Barack Obama vowed 20 months ago to close Guantanamo, and since it didn't close. This report came out and it went by without a comment from the administration. So this is really a time when people who care about humanity and are thinking about what our responsibility to stop these crimes is to act. One of the ways that World Can't Wait has been acting has been by distributing hundreds and hundreds of copies of the video that we're about to see. In fact, we have now a compilation of the really important leaks from WikiLeaks on one DVD that we're making available to anybody who wants it, to anybody who will show it to other people in libraries, classes, outside. We showed a little bit of it today at a school in Manhattan, and maybe we'll talk about the response to that. Another thing that we did was to circulate this statement, signed by people that we heard from those who read it. It was a very encouraging group. Cornel West signed on right away. Cindy Sheehan, Carl Dix, Noam Chomsky. People that are well known in the arts and writers and lawyers. Michael Ratner from the Center for Constitutional Rights. And the message that we were sending out was, these people who really know a lot about these issues and have taken public stands about many important things are united and agree that crimes are crimes, no matter who does them. End the silence of complicity. So this is step 2. People have been writing us saying, I know this is really terrible, what's being done by our government in our name. What should we do about it? So number 1, you're here, you're watching. You're going to get the chance to really engage, whether you're on the web or you're here in the room, with people who know about what they are speaking about and have a plan to respond to it. And if you're on the web, you can send us questions. Debra Sweet, D-E-B-R-A Sweet, at worldcan'twait.net. It's written right where you're watching, or you can call 866-973-4463. The first hour today will be presentations and films. The second hour is going to be discussion amongst all of us. And I want to take this moment just to let people know that rooms like this, broadcasts like this, travel like this is not free, and that World Can't Wait is actively asking you to donate in whatever ways you can, in cash. If you're present in the form of checks, you can find on our website how to donate, or you can donate immediately online right now at worldcan'twait.net. The point of all this is that we've run into the fact that people widely don't know enough about these crimes. We're going to try to solve that tonight. If people choose to know and not respond or do anything, that's another problem. The third point is that we have ideas about what people can do to go out among others and to get this widely known, and that's all about what we're doing. So just to give you an idea of how this evening is going to run, to my left is Pardis Kebriai, who's an attorney from the Center for Constitutional Rights, and she is one of a team that is working on the case against the Obama administration and against the plan for targeted assassination of Anwar al-Aulaqui. To my right, your left, is Ethan McCord, who we've run into on the tour this spring. The minute the Collateral murder came out, and people saw it, I know many people watching have seen it, you're going to get another chance to see it through Ethan's eyes, because he was there on the scene. He was the one who rescued the children out of the van. And we're really fortunate, number 1, that he's speaking all over the country about this and other abuses and outrages connected with the occupation of Iraq and Afghanistan, and then, of course, that he's here with us. We're also going to see an excerpt of Collateral Murder narrated by Ethan, which is extremely important for us to watch and is also available on the DVD. You can order it through worldcan'twait.net. It's also in the back of the room, hot off the presses. We also have some other information that we'll be discussing about Bradley Manning, who is the Army sergeant who's being prosecuted by the U.S. government for leaking the WikiLeaks. Yeah. Army private, sorry. I'm not that rank conscious. Now I got you. And of course we can talk about WikiLeaks, and we can talk about the continuing crimes of our government and what people can do. So first, what I'd like to do is turn this over to Pardis, who's really prepared a primer for us about what it means that our government and the president is preparing to assassinate a U.S. citizen.